Hello, Embird users. Lisa WeQuilt here, bringing you another Embird Studio Next video. If you recall in our last two videos, I showed you how to create these little shapes already cut out, and we did that in Inkscape. And then we brought all those shapes as an SVG into Embird, and that's where we assigned the mesh. And it was really quick to get these individual shapes in Inkscape using their shape builder tool. It's kind of a newer tool that Inkscape introduced. So I will probably always use that tool because it's so quick. However, in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a very similar mandala, but everything is done in Embird. So all of these little shapes were created in Embird, in Studio Next here, and we just used the transform shaping difference, intersection, and union tool, all three of them. So we're going to show you how we do that all in Embird, and we'll start from scratch by making one of these intersecting, rotating circle designs. This is the same design that we made in Inkscape, just rotating a circle. So we'll start with that, and then we'll end with our final product, which is this one. So let's get started. Okay, so I have my Janome hoop up, and I'll just start from scratch. I'm going to try and make something that's about 80 millimeters, a mandala that's, 80 by 80. So the circle, if I'm going to put it in the center, I'm going to start with this circle down here and butt it to the center. That would mean that my circle should be 40 mils. So then once I rotate it, the entire mandala will be 80 mils. So I'll start with that. So I'll hit just the fill object, and I'll click anywhere, shape, ellipse, 16 elements. I'll hold my control, and I'll just drag a circle out anywhere and hit enter. And I'll bring it down here because I know that's where I want it. And you could see it's snapping, but I have to size it. And the reason it's snapping to the grid is because I did options, snap objects, click snap objects to grid. I have that on. So I'll size the object with it selected. I'll go to transform, transformation window, size, keep aspect ratio because I held control when I made this, and I'll click here, control A, 40, 1, 2, which was enter, and you could see it's 40 by 40. I'll click apply, and I'll click the check, and then now I could just take this and snap it up to this 0. You could see 0 and 0 there, but I just want to make sure that horizontally it's center. So transform, center, center horizontally, just to make sure that it was. So now I'll rotate it. And to do that, it's transformation window again, rotate, and the number is 8, and if you don't see it, you would right click to lower it, left click to raise it up, or just click number and put it in here, 8, and then enter to get out. And then The other thing we want to make sure is that our rotation center is in the center of the hoop here. Right now it's in the center of the design. It defaults to this. We want it in the center of the work area. You can kind of see it moved up here. The work area is just the hoop. And we'll click apply to duplicate 7 times because the 8th one is already down. 1, and you could see it's going to rotate counterclockwise. So keep that in mind. That's usually how Embird works. Counterclockwise rotations. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Okay, and hit done. Here they are over here. If I do Control A, you can see our shape. And I'll hit Control 1 just to zoom in on it. So there's all our mandala objects that look just like the one we created in Inkscape. But you can see we have to make 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to make 4 objects in order to rotate. So first I'm going to save it. Mesh. Mandalas mesh. And I'll call it 8 circle mandala. Embird. Meaning we made it in Embird and not Inkscape. Just try that. So let's go ahead and let's look at this. This one and this one. So 1 and 2 are making this shape. So we'll just go ahead and make that. So I'll hold Control, Build, Shaping, Intersection. Okay, so I have that. I'll turn it pink. And we want to make this section. So I'm going to do this one and this one to create this pie shape over here. So the first and the last. This is the first, this is the last. Hold Control. Build, Shaping, Intersection. Okay. And then those two, let's see. I don't want to create their intersection. I could create their intersection to get this shape. And then maybe with this shape, I could just rotate it. It'd be easier so that I get this one. And then these two will give me this. So I guess I could do that first. So, or I could create this one. This right here by taking these two and like maybe unioning them. So we'll hold off then. If we're going to union these, we'll hold off on this one. We'll just get the intersection between these two. So build, shaping, intersection. Okay, we'll make that green. And then I said I was just going to rotate it in order to get this one. So with it selected, I'll go to transform. I'll say 8, but I'm only going to apply to duplicate 1 time to get this. But I'll leave it at 8, put this in the center, the hoop, and that's all I need because that gives me that. And I'll just hit check. And then I'll just take these two, build, shaping, intersection. Okay, we're getting there. And I'll make that one, I'll just make it black. So click here, union. And now this one and the first one, I'll do difference to get this. So this one and the very first circle, okay, this very first circle, build, shaping, difference. It is on top. Let me go ahead and Control C, Control V. And now this one, the blue is on top, which I thought the cutter had to be on top. Let me just try it. Whoops. Oh. Oh. I was right. Look, it just took a long time. All of a sudden this popped up. It took a long time. It created my shape, but it created all of these stragglers. Interesting. Okay, well, you know, it's better than nothing. So at least I know I was right. Let me delete this one. So it did create that. So the cookie cutter does have to be on top. I'm just going to hold shift and delete all of these stragglers. I don't know what they are. And then I could see that this has a straggler. Control 1, right here. Edit. And, you know, I could draw a box around it here. Click, 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 click. I'll just select those and delete. Didn't delete the beginning, so I'm going to put my, even though I know it's not going to stay here for right now, place start point, place end point. And then I wonder, so I've got snap to object edges on, so this has to be snapped. I wonder if this one is in the right spot. Let me zoom in on it. I mean, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good, I guess. So I'm going to let it go. So I'm going to hit check. And I'll just hit something big here and do Control 1. I'll just zoom out a little more. So I have this. And maybe I'll make it, how about this? Just want to give it something that I can actually see. What I need to do is I need to make this shape in here. So that's going to be, let's look at my shapes. First, let's go up here, and I don't really want to hide the blue. Although I can, I'll hide it. Might help me better. Group it. Long hold. Okay, yeah, I'm going to bring it back. For some reason, I feel like I need it. Okay, I have to try and look at this a little better. So I have, this one is really not going to help me at all. So I'm going to hide it. Okay. So I have to get two of these. So I can just rotate this to get this other petal. Might be easier. Or I can Yeah, it's just easier. So if I get this other petal, union those two, and then get a difference between that union and this pea pod here, the green, this one here. Okay, so we'll go here. Transformation, leave it on 8. We'll put it in the center, and we have to do it all the way. Sometimes if you don't click in the right spot. Okay. So then this one and this one I don't really need. So then this one and this one, build shaping union. Okay. And then this and this pea pod, build shaping difference. Now remember, the cutter has to be on top, and it is. Oh, that was quick. So I still get a straggler. Let's just see. I don't need it. Obviously, I don't need that. But I see this little thing there. Okay, let's control 1 just to get it all in view. I've got one over here. That looks good up there. Okay. So I'll just edit that. And I don't know if yeah, I'm still snapping. That's good because I'm snapping to a previous one, snapping to edge to something that's previously been laid down, meaning the previous pea pod. So it's snapping to that edge. That's good. Does it look curved though here? I don't know. It almost doesn't because of this. I'm going to click on this and click insert just so I could delete this square node. And then if I look on the left, you know, this one's up here. I don't know. Let's just see. I could snap to guide. I could click this. Snap to guide and object edge. Then it'll be right there. Whoops, but I don't have my guide locked, and the guide lock window is not available when you're in edit. I asked for it to be available, but so I don't know. I guess it just looks a little funny up there, right up here. I don't have snap to node on. Let's see what that does. So it didn't really change anything. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. So I'll let it go. I won't be terribly OCD. Okay. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. I already know that since I have it on edit, when I rotate this, I probably, see, I don't know how I want my outlines to be. Because this could be one of the designs where I outline this entire little shape, in which case you start it, you know it's going to rotate right. So the second one's going to be here, you know, counterclockwise. And if I outline this as well, my endpoint of my fill need to be in the same spot. That's because place start point, place end point. That's because after the fill is done, or the mesh, then the outline starts and ends in the same spot. So then when that outline is done, you know, that outline will start here, go all the way around. And when it's done, then the next fill or mesh can be stitched right away. That doesn't look good there. One of these nodes, I can't remember which one it was now, looked like it was pointy. I think it was this one. I don't know. Let me delete that one. Yeah. I don't know if I should have done that. See this? I mean, I could have moved this one up. I could have clicked snap to grid here. Moved this to the, no. Control Z. Uncheck that. I do wish that snap or lock guides was available on this screen. Since this was the one giving me the problems and this one is not, I'll just put it there. Oh, I don't have, yeah, I have a node and object edge, and this is guide. I might have had the wrong one chosen. Okay, so it's not snapping to the object edge. Sometimes that happens. You might have to zoom in more because I have both. Yeah, it's still, it kind of doesn't want to snap. So if I uncheck that, see, then it snaps. So I'll just move it up where the guide is. But still, it's, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's going to be right and smooth. So I'll hit enter. Now we'll go to lock guides. I mean, I guess it looks okay. Let me erase the guides. Yeah, I don't know why. It just doesn't look right there. I don't know if you can see, now on both sides, I see a slight point there, like as if I should be deleting this square node. Let's just see. I mean, then you just are sliding. I mean, you're not sure if you're exactly right on, you know, like if you're cutting these sections exactly perfectly. Whereas the one in Inkscape, you do know because you just select them and they're all perfectly cut. So, and my lock guides is on. So wherever I move that now, and if I have snap to edges and snap to guide on, there's the guide. It is weird. It seems to not want to do it when I have them both selected. Control Z. So I'm going to try that. And I know these up here aren't, you know, the same on both sides, but those looked okay. I don't see any points. So I'll just go with that. You know, the less square nodes, the better. So now, if I delete that, and I can delete this even though it's hidden. In Studio Next, you can do that. I don't need that one. And we're going to make this a different color. I mean, if I make it red, that's okay. I think I said I was going to make this one yellow. Okay. So now I don't need the pea pod. That's right. I don't need the pea pod. Oh, the pink up here. I don't need those. I'm getting confused. Let me see what it is I'm... Oh, I have to do another one because I have this blue shape. We'll make this a darker blue. And I have the red. I have the yellow. Oh, I need this shape here. Oh, and my blue has a straggler. I need this shape here. That's the one I'm missing. Okay. So let me fix the blue one. See, this is hard. You have to like, it's like one of those, control one. It's like one of those pictures. They say, okay, stare at this picture. You know, I'm just going to place my end and my start point over here so I don't have any problems. And you can just click on these and delete them. I just draw the box because it's faster. Okay. And, oh, I had snap to guide on instead of snap to edge. Duh. Okay. Doesn't it look like there's more than one node there? Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Okay. So let me zoom out with my minus button. And I'll use my right mouse to scroll this around. And I'm just going to delete that. Okay, there we go. And now if I click here, okay, Control Z. All right, that could have been problemsome, to be honest. You know, that would have caused a lot of density issues and everything. So I guess you do want to check all of your points to make sure you don't have that issue. So that's another time waster. So I'm going to click here. And I'm thinking now I probably want to just outline here. So if that's the case, then it's just going to be one line. I want to start and end here, then the outline takes it from here over, and then I can create the next mesh. So, I mean, I'm just thinking ahead of time. Place start point, place end point. Okay. Enter. Oh, I was going to check this node up here. I'm just going to click on it. Okay, there's just one node. Control Z. Okay. Enter. So Control S to save. Okay, so this little shape here is what I have to make. So this one and this one have to intersect with the pea pod. Okay, that pea pod has to intersect with these two. I could have it intersect with this because I deleted this. Well, this pea pod that I had here, I got rid of it, didn't I? Yeah, the little one I got rid of. So that was a mistake, but I'll just try and use this one now. I mean, I could make it into the other Pt1. I don't want to Control Z. I could just move these out, or I could create an outline from it and do half of it and so on and so on. But for right now, I'm just going to rotate it and see if that'll work for me. Put it in the center, 8, apply to duplicate, and that's all I need. And then these two, build, shaping, union. And then this one in the pod, this pod, and this. I have them selected, build. See, this is the cutter. It's on top of this. Build, shaping, difference. Okay, we got something a little funky. Let's edit it. Okay, delete, delete, oops. I didn't want to do that. Let me delete the square node. And then this one. Okay. I'll use my, hold down my right mouse to scroll around. So I have quite a bit up here that I don't need because I already have this little thing. It is kind of cute. You know, this little thing that I made is actually kind of cute. I'm going to save it as a design just for the heck of it. And then I'll come back. Let's see. Click there. Snapped that. It's just a cute little thing. This little shape. I don't know why I like it. It in and of itself would be cute as something to rotate. Control C, Control V. I'm just going to move it out. Isn't that cute? I don't know what it is, but it's cute. So anyways, I'll get back to this one now. So let me just take this one and instead of scrolling up, I'll just say order to back. So it's up here. So let's go back to this now and Control 1, edit. And I'm going to delete everything up here by drawing a box. Up, there's my start points. I'm going to make, on this one I was thinking, oh, I was only going to have it, I don't know about my outlines for this. I think I only wanted these, in which case my start and end point have to be on the left. So it's kind of like the blue one. Starting in there, then the outline, boom, boom, and it's ready for the next one. I think, yeah, here's the next shape. So, place, start, place, end. If you click this, you can go to 1-to-1 and then use your magnifier. Okay. So I want to make a box. Don't want to get that node. However, the direction these are going this way. So this node is going to go with this blue. So hoping this blue isn't going to get deleted, but let's see. So those are all selected. I'll hit delete. Okay. Yeah, I didn't like that. I'm going to Control C. So I'll draw the box, and just so that I don't have any problems, I'll stay clear of any nodes that I think might be attached to this. Like I can see it's going this way, so this node is attached to this blue. So this is probably the one I didn't want to include, but now why are they all selected? Okay, they unselected those other ones, and it just selected these. Although these didn't get selected, I might not have had them in there. Let's just hit delete. Okay, that's fine. I can handle some deleting these. Interesting. Look how many were on top. Okay, click and delete. And now this, if I delete this, it's attached to this. It's attached to something. There must be something under here. Yep, there is. Okay, that was the problem. So I'm just going to delete that, and we're going to have to deal with that. Okay, good. It's sliding. It's snapping to an object edge, probably to this little petal here. That's fine. Perfect. It's on this guide. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't go with this one. It goes with this one. But that's fine. I guess it looks okay. All right. Okay, finally, do I have them all? So if I delete that one, I know I should just be hiding them instead of deleting them. I have that one. Let's make it a new color. I could try and make it a dark purple, I guess. 1, 2. I don't need that one because I have this one that's just like it. So I'll delete that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is the large pod that I don't need. I'm just going to delete them. So then these are kind of too close in color. Those are too close in color. I thought I was going to make, I did make that yellow. Okay. I always have such a hard time with the colors. Did I have one that's green? No. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think I have them finally. All right, so let's just see if I did it right again. I'm just going to select them. I'll Control S. Shift. I'll just group these. I'll hide this one. That one I could just leave there. Okay, so let's just see. Transform. 8. Center. See, all the colors are distinctly, there. Okay, I did it. So that was hard. I mean, that was the first time, like I'm doing this online. So that was kind of the first time I did one that was this hard. And you can kind of see if you saw the other video with Inkscape, you just choose them all, group them, and you're done. Whereas with this, you have to use your shaping tool. Difference, intersection, union, I used all of them. So, and then I had stragglers, and then, not sure how perfect it was. So at this point, you still have to go ahead and, you know, go back to having them just separate. And you would go through the same process that I went through with the Inkscape ones. You have a separate little object and create your mesh and so on. So let's just say I ungroup it and I decide, okay, I'm gonna just do the blue one, and I'm just gonna drag it down, and I'm gonna convert it to a mesh, and I can always convert it back to a fill. I'm not gonna lose my shape, so I'll convert fill to mesh, mesh. I'll go into crayons. I'm going to start out with the straight line, but I'm going to curve it just so we could see. Here's my page up. It's number 47, page up. Okay. And these are my settings. Now, I might keep them that way so that I get a curve and not a pointed area here where it gets tight. So I'm going to just leave that. I'm going to give it a ripple. We got new ones here. This is interesting. I don't want the whole S. I want half of it. So my count is a half. Enter, enter. And for range, let's see. This was a 40 millimeter circle originally. Oh, I keep wanting to. So I don't know. I'm going to start with 10. That might be too much. I'm just going to see what it does. And then notice how I'm starting at the bottom. I'm finding now that it's easier to start your rotations with the bottom because those always, when you rotate, they have an angle of 0, even when you use the ripple. So you don't have to go and change anything. So your ripple can stay 0, and so can your transformation angle. You don't have to change anything, if I remember correctly. But they do have to agree, 0 and 0. And let's just see, because I want it to be curved like this to follow the circle. Let's just apply it. Okay, so since they're far apart, I kind of like the curve. The curve is nice, but they are far apart. Well, that's the scale. So let's go down to 50, which is going to take longer, and hit apply. Okay, that's nice. So I'm at 0, 0. My range is 10. Range is 10. And you only want a wave, so it's half of the ripple, not the whole S. Done. Control S. We're going to rotate it now. And transform. 8. Centered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Check. Hold shift, select these, And let's just generate and see what they did. We know we have to go in and work on each one because we added a ripple. The first one's done. The second one, you could see the ripples going the opposite way. So let's click it. Oh, not the second one. This is the one opposite. I like to do that. I like to go the one opposite. So since there's 8 of these, the first one, you just add 4 to it. 6 plus 4 is 10. It should be number 10. That's the one I want to do. It just helps me better. So you can see how this changed. The transformation window is very obedient when you rotate. It does what it's supposed to. You know, this one was 0, and when it came over here, it's completely flipped and did a 180. You know, it's totally on the opposite end of the unit circle, so to speak. You know, instead of it being at 0, it's way over here at 180. And that's good. But now we have to get the ripple to match the transformation tab. That one doesn't change. These stay the same, but of course they stay the same. They don't ever change. We just have to put that at 180 and hit apply. And that just turns it upside down. And there you go. So now we'll go to number 2. In number 2, if I go into params and I look at, this is at 45. So we were here horizontally, and now we rotated it 45 degrees. And you can kind of see this line and these lines, they do agree a little bit. We used to be able to move this bar in 10.87, and now here I am in 10.88, and it's not working, but I did report that to Doosan. But at any rate, this is at 45. Click on ripple, put this at 45, and apply. And then when I hit done, I'll move this. It doesn't look good. Let me hit done. So what that's telling me is that when I turn it, the 10 is probably too much when I turn it. I like it here, and I may like it here and here, I don't know. But on these angle ones, it seems like 10 is too much. So let's go in and see. So let's do 5 just to see. Okay, it is following it. It's almost like it's a little too flat. And sometimes I wonder if when you turn it, it's like you're getting the straight part of the ripple. Well, no, that wouldn't make sense. By turning it, I'd get more because it was more rippled. So I don't know. Maybe. Let's just try at 7.5. That's not bad, but the line is cut off. I mean, I could mess with the offset, but since it's on an angle, you have to do both of them at a certain mill, and I don't feel like dealing with that. So I'll try 6. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. It's almost like I kind of do want to offset it, but yeah, that's too much. I don't know if I should leave that because, you know, you could see how close this is. And if I mess with the offset, it's always hard because you figure, okay, what is it really that I want to do? Do I want to move this forward or this way? It would seem that, you know, if I went 1 mil, that's 1 mil to the right, and down for Embird is positive, so 1 mil. But the one opposite it isn't going to be like that. Let's just see. Because those are going in different directions. Well, I do -1 and -1. And that actually looks better. I'm happier with that. I'm going to just let it go. So I got a little more complicated on this one. 7 and 4 is 11. So what did we use on I can't set identical parameters because then the transformation angle will change. What did I set on the range? 5.5. That's why I like to do them opposite each other because then I could make them agree. Enter. Transformation, -135. And you can see this line does agree with the angle here. These lines are like parallel, like this is parallel to this line, almost. You know, if the ripple weren't in there. So the ripple has to be -135. The offset. Well, let's just try it. Since I hit up here, you hit enter once. Let's see if I called that right. I did. Okay, I'm getting better. 8. So this one should be easy, I think. Famous last words. So 90, and these are 90. But they're not even curved. You know, the ripple's on, but, you know, the ripple was straight. It's rotated. Let's see. 90. Let's make this 90. So let's just click apply without doing anything. Oh, now I only have a count of a half, but, and I did get a wave, but I think it's just too huge. So maybe I do have to go down on these. All of these other ones are not horizontal like this one and this one were. These two seem to have mimicked the original line, the original pattern, you know. So maybe that's why I had to use 10 on them. I'm not quite sure, but let's just try a 5.5. Interesting. Try 2.5. It's like I'm not even getting a wave, I'm getting a ripple. So I worked with this offline to try to get it to um, just not have as much of a ripple. And I really didn't have a lot of luck. So I'm going to go with this, but I'm going to use this transformation offset to try to move this to the left so that I get this space here, here. And I'm only going to go about a half a mil. So to the left is negative 0.5. Okay. So I'm just going to go with that for these two sides. So I have negative 0.5 on the offset, only 2.5 on the range. These others, this was 5.5. This was 10. You know, I'm cutting it in half each time I go around. But I left the count at 0.5 because I want to be consistent throughout. So until we get a real wave, we have to work with just cutting the ripple in half. So I'm fine with that. It actually is kind of pretty. So we'll go with that. So I have to remember 2.5 and negative 5, meaning this will probably be positive 0.5. So negative 0.5, I meant to say. So this will be positive 0.5 and 2.5. Done. Control X. 8 plus 4 is 12. Okay. First we'll do this, negative 90, ripple, negative 90. Range 2.5, enter. Make this 0.5 instead of negative. Or was it? Yeah. Yes. Apply. Okay. I'm just going to have to go with that. Click done. Control S. So I was on 8 and 12, 9. And 135. 135. You can see that line is parallel to that, kind of. On these angle ones, remember we were going to go 5.5, the ones that were right next to, you know, right in between the 12 o'clock and the 3 o'clock, I guess you could say. Those were at 5.5 on the range. And I think that's all I had to do on those. Those were easy-ish. Did I offset? I offset them. That's right. So I want to go, weren't they 1 and negative 1? Let me just look. This one here. Or 1 and 1. Yeah, 1 and 1. So this one should be to the right 1, but up. So this one should be 1 and negative 1. This one up here, because negative 1 will bring it up. Okay, that was 9. Oh wait, I don't want to bring it up. I want to bring it down. Oh, but that looks good. I guess that's okay because when I brought it up, it got rid of that line. I'm going to go with it because it looks great. So if this is 1 and -1, then this one will probably be, I want to go left, so it'll be -1. If I'm moving it to the left, I guess I'll see how it looks because I'm not sure. I'm getting confused. So 9 and 4 is 13. It's my last one. -45. 5.5. Let me just hit apply and see about the offset. Okay, so I want to move it. I could move it down and over to the left, down and left, or left and down. So left is negative and down is positive. Okay. I think the other one was the opposite. I can't remember now. What did I say? Left and down. Down is positive. Okay, I'm happy with that. So the only one that was ripply were these two, and that's fine. Control S. So then each of these, what I could have done before I rotated them was I could have rotated them with their outline attached as a group. That way I don't have to move the outlines into place. So I messed up. So I'll hold shift and I have to, in order to create an outline, it has to be a fill. I don't want to lose all my parameters. I have to copy and paste them. Boy, I almost really messed that up. Control C, Control V. These down here, I'm going to select again. And make them yellow. And then convert those because I know I'll delete them. Mesh to fill. Hold shift. Convert. Create outlines. Okay. I'll just make them black for now. Whoops. Click. Shift and select. Delete. Yeah, if I was smart, I would have rotated it with the outline attached. Because now I have to do this. And of course, I picked a color that was very close. It's just easier when I move them. So these outlines, to be honest, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. So this one, I kind of want to edit it before I rotate the outline. So because I only want this part of the outline anyways. So that's what I'm going to rotate. Because if you look at my mesh ends on the left. So my outline starts here and it'll end there. So let me edit the outline, Control 1, edit. You know, this mesh I'm gonna fix because this line is too close. I'm gonna offset this mesh by 1/2 mil or something. But at any rate, this outline can start there, but I'm gonna split it here. Right click, split. This part, delete. Now this, I can rotate. I'm just going to hit 1 to 1. I'll just leave it there. It's in the right place. Actually, why does that outline say it's ending there on the left? Let me edit this. Oh, I got to reverse it. Maybe when I split it, it did that. You can see that maybe I didn't start it, or maybe when I split it, that's what happened. So got flipped. I don't remember. But I'll click edge, reverse nodes. So now it starts there and ends there. Okay. I hit 1 to 1. Now it's right. It is a different color. Okay, it's not blue. Let me just click on the blue. Set identical. Okay, I just want to make sure the scissors go away. Okay, now I'll rotate it. Control S, build, I'm sorry, transform, center, 8. Okay. Now I have to put these in order. Hold shift. Put them all the same color and all the scissors went away. I didn't assign these single ones an outline stitch. I could go into gadgets, fragment editors, and click on one. It's already selected, user samples, open sample. I think I did use Paisley Small. Get another one in there. And if you recall, my arrowheads were directional. These are not in order. They're not in alphabetical order. They're in, you know, by date. Okay, so these by name. Oh, ascending wasn't checked. Okay. I guess I'll try something that's directional. Bike chain's not bad. I'll just try that. Just for something different. And maybe I'll just do that one. So I could have these all selected, that's fine, because then when I click on params, they both show up. So I'll click on the outline and give it the paisley. And hit done. Okay. So then that's the outline, or that's the outer. So I'll group these. Control S.